So I just finished my mentorship class. Had a great class. Went long today because I didn't have jiu-jitsu. Everybody's concerned about the recession, what to do. Look, this is a time to be careful. I started in a recession. I've made money through it when I began. I made money in 2008. This is different, and I'll tell you the main difference is that we're going into a recession, and at the same time, interest rates are going up. In the early 80s and in 2008, just the opposite happened. Interest rates were going down while we were going into a recession. Just the opposite is going on. So it's very different. I've never been through this exactly, but I can tell you it's going to be worse. That I know. That's a given. It's going to be worse. So, you guys know that I have all kinds of properties, industrial, commercial, residential. I do flips, but I hold about 165,000 square feet of rentals. I love it. There's not a better way to make money, but I'm dressing for the crash. And everybody needs to know, economy crashing, we're dressing for the crash. And I'm going to talk to you about what that means. In the meantime, here, just real quick, I'll show you. I've got, this is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. That's a scissor lift. I've been using it a lot lately. Replace, lights in my big buildings. Going along outside of my 2-story buildings. We clean the gutters out, because that can be a problem, and especially on a steep pitch roof. But you can see I got stuff scattered out here. This is one of my more recent purchases, and just going through stuff. This is kind of interesting. This out. Talk about recession times. Look at this. See this? This is boxes. You guys know I share what's in the attic. I share stuff that I come upon. Look at this. Navy beans. All this stuff. This is, somebody preparing for a major crash. Coincidentally, preparing for a major crash, right? Look at all this. This stuff's supposed to be good for 40 years. It was made in the 70s. We'll open up a can sometime, throw in a little water, see what it tastes like. Again, these are things that I don't throw away. This is just scattered about on this job. We got lumber, we got metal doors, we got concrete. Main reason right now, this particular area here is, you can see right now, we've got Theodore up there. He's mudding the ceiling. We're gonna make this pristine and perfect inside. We'll paint the floors and make it awesome. The junk is going. Even though you see this wood here, wood's expensive, right? And even though this doesn't look particularly valuable, this really isn't trash. This is gonna be used for form. When you got, 1/4 inch and 3/8 plywood like that, that's really important stuff for doing, when you gotta do forms and things. You can reuse that stuff. There's no sense throwing it away. Rips up beautifully. Lumber's not cheap. Lumber's expensive right now. So, but let's talk about dressing for the crash. I'm going to jump in the car here, so bear with me a minute while I lock this gate. Let's see. So, listen, this is part of my Saturday ritual. Normally I'm in jiu-jitsu, but you gotta have priorities. But hey, since I got it, here's my book. Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Get this book. If you're gonna get in real estate, get this book. I've got, my mentees have made millions of dollars in the last few years, and they will tell you, and some might even pipe in here in the comments and say good things. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Every Saturday, somebody's got a new deal. Somebody's cashing in. It's a fantastic thing. It's real. I'm real. It's not bullshit. You'll see that I talk about specifics and deals and all that sort of thing. Anyways, get the book, start there, watch the program. You'll find out that not everybody on YouTube's full of shit. I enjoy it, and I enjoy seeing people become successful. So right now, let's talk about dressing for the crash. I mentioned it before. When you ride motocross or a motorcycle, you don't want to have a crash. You don't want to put on the leathers. You don't want to put on a helmet. Who doesn't want to? Who wants to wear a helmet? You ride around without a helmet, right? But you wear a helmet because just in case you crash, you don't split your head open. And that is important, and that's kind of analogous to what we're talking about right now. So even if you're comfortable and you've got money, that's great. Look to lower your head even further.
rentals. Great. Maximize them. Get the leases tied up longer. And start taking care of your properties. Don't do long deferred maintenance, but just keep it clean and neat. Sorry, this is shaking so much. There we go. Look, I was looking at a new Porsche GTS yesterday. Not new to me, but it's a collector's item. And I'm glad I took it for a nice test drive, because I've been pretty close to buying this thing anyways. But I took it for a nice test drive, and it's cool. It's a collector's item. This thing's 130 grand, and it's only got 20,000 miles on it, and it's pretty, and it's a rare one. But I'm not so sure I'm going to buy it now. For no reason, it'd be just an ornament behind me, to be honest. It'd just be an ornament. And it was fun to drive. And now, so look, and right now, even though I'm driving by properties, that's a building I own. I own this building, I own this building. In fact, I'm going to just take a drive around this building. Actually, I know there's a package waiting for you, but from the UPS up here. I'm not going to go inside. But this is the kind of stuff you do. You take a look, you watch your properties, any broken glass, any signs of destruction, the dumpsters, is there shit on the outside the dumpsters? Is there any issues? That's the stuff you look for. And so this is what I talk about dressing for the crash too. It's always a good idea to keep on top of your properties, because it's respectful to your tenancy. More stuff. Everything looks clean and neat. That's nice. I also own this one over here. I own that one. I also own the roof you see in the far distance. That's mine. I used to own this building over here too. Some of these I've sold. But again, you take care of your tenants, and believe me, they'll take care of you. We are going into a recession, and you want to help your tenants survive, because believe me, even though I'm 100% occupied, I'm sitting fat, long leases, money coming in. Couldn't be better, right? What I know is there's no guarantee that my tenants are going to fare as well. See these properties? You guys saw that. Phone went off. Anyways, just passed a restaurant, 4 houses that I've sold. Boy, am I so glad that I sold those before today. I sold them pandemic, and before today, I don't think the properties are going up in value. I think they're going down. So it's just that much better. Because here's the problem: interest rates going up, that leads to properties going down. Here's another property of mine right there. See that one there? That one there. That's a beauty. And it is leased long term. That's a good thing. It's one of the few companies that succeeded and thrived in the pandemic. So I'm really blessed in a lot of ways. I don't want to see any of you young guys get ripped off by one of these YouTubers or fake gurus saying, give me money, and I'll turn it into more. You got to understand, when you throw into money with a fund, when you go into a fund, they make money whether you do or not. Understand? They can go in and they can pay cash for everything. All the individual investors that throw money, they pay cash for it. They don't even have to borrow money. It doesn't matter if the asset goes up or down, because they're going to charge the fund, whatever the fund's worth. In general, they're going to charge 2%. So they're going to make $200,000 for every $10 million that comes in. Okay? Dressing for the crash would not include pissing your money away and giving it to one of those guys. Okay? So don't make that mistake. Control your own money, control your own assets. Nobody cares more about your money than you. Don't ever think somebody really cares really about you. If you start feeling that way, that complacency is what's going to really destroy your wealth. So we're going up here. You guys know I talk about my barbells. Well, I'm driving down the line. I just went into one barbell. I have a lot more. I'm about to check in on one of my tenants that has moved into their new space. I'm actually right now because my phone tends to overheat. And so I'm holding it in front of the air conditioner right now, which I think this might not be legal. But let's go look at something else. But basically what I was getting at is take care of your tenants will take care of you, take care of your assets. It's just like you're brushing your teeth, right? you don't brush your teeth will rot. Well, guess what? If you don't brush your properties will rot, and you'll lose your tenants. So it's extremely important you maintain your properties, stay close to your tenants, and the closer you are to them, guess what? You'll know if they're hurting or not. You don't want to just find out one day they say, hey, I'm out of here. Sorry, I'm late on rent. You ain't never going to see a penny from me again because I'm broke. That can happen. But a smart landlord, smart investor stays close to his tenants. He senses when they're hurting before they go belly up. And then maybe, if you want to, you can do things that will help keep them in business and help keep that money coming in. The money may not be coming in as well as it was before, but that happens. You know, I keep all my tenants in general, I keep them below market value. I mean, rents, in other words, whatever the rents are, I charge them less than what I could. And that's not just because I'm being a good guy. Strategically, it's just a good, smart move. Because, you know, our success is shared. They need to survive. I need to survive. Yeah, I'm going to pull over here and I'll take a look at some of the questions we got here. And we can discuss whatever's on your mind. But I can't emphasize enough, this ain't the same as 2009 or anything you've experienced. You know, I've been doing this 41 years, so I started in a recession, high interest rates, and things were coming down. And believe me, you saw the interest rates go up, 1.5% or 1.5% in the last 2 months, and less actually. And they're probably going to go up another 0.5 point in the very near future. And let me get this out of this. This is one of the problems with this using this iPhone, is as well as it works, the sun burns it out, overheats. So look, I'll take questions. Anybody want to talk about something? Let's do it. This is a good time. Let's see, what do we got here? So starting at the top, $2 shirt. You know what? I didn't buy this one. Yep, this one probably came from I don't know. My girlfriend's a bargain hunter, and but yeah, this is one of those $2 shirts from a secondhand store. I got an enormous amount of secondhand shirts that are all Hawaiian style. So you'll be seeing me wear a lot of them. Sorry, Biden, or sorry, what Barry wrote. Sorry, Tom. Biden said you're not heading into. Oh, good. Thank God. That's great. Yeah. Thank God Biden doesn't have dementia. Thank God he's so bright and healthy. Yeah. Liam says Biden says whatever in the teleprompter. So look, I try not to get too political, but obviously there's not much faith in this country being run well. It's very difficult when you have a president that's incoherent. But let's hope for the best. I hear a lot of, what's funny is I hear people that when they listen to Biden, they think that poor man, that he doesn't even know what's going on. And that's, I think, poor country. We have a country. I want to know who's feeding. I want to know who's putting the information in the teleprompter. The guy thinks he's doing a good job. You're doing a great job. Everybody's happy. And then he goes out there and he acts like he's a hero. He doesn't know what's going on. So let's go. Matt says you better hope the syndicator doesn't embezzle your money. Yeah, that could happen too. Cut him. Think I should hold my cash right now? Listen, cut him. You're new. I think you're going to be joining the mentorship soon, and I welcome you coming in. And but one thing you'll know is the mantra that I spiel all the time is there is no bad real estate. There's just bad deals. It's always a good time to invest. Okay, and these are the same things that you'll actually hear Warren Buffett say. You should always invest. You should just never make a bad investment. I just closed a house yesterday. That's the Red Rum Murder House. I'll show you guys more of that later. Again, I'll make $100,000. Maybe things will really go to shit, and maybe I'll do it. I think leapfrogging. Leapfrogging is you can go to leapfrogging in my book. You'll see what leapfrogging is. If I maybe I'll do that, and maybe I'll only make 75. I don't think so. I think I'll make 100 on this for sure. I'm in an area that is not immune. No, don't ever let anybody tell you that their area is immune to problems. But I'm actually in an area that is growing still. In other words, we have jobs here. We have jobs. We have high-paying jobs too. So people still need a place to live and they have a job. That makes a huge difference. So they can deal with a 1.5 up on their rent. And believe me, here's why a 1.5 doesn't matter on a say you're in a $500,000 home. So on a 1.5 home, that's going to cost you $7,500 more a year. It's going to cost you another, basically $700-800 a month, okay, in interest, okay. So your mortgage is going to be higher. Now, if you are coming into a community to make $150,000 or $200,000 a year, you're not going to like that interest rates went up, but that ain't going to stop you from buying a home. And you got a job, so you are still bankable, okay? Being bankable, believe me, the banks, a lot of times, listen, some of you, that if you don't get what you want from a bank, you may be lucky, because what they may know that you don't know is they may know that you're in trouble and you don't even know it, because that's what a bank does. A bank specializes in risk of people. They loan money out. And, every loan officer is a salesman, okay? And their job is to bring in quality loans, and they look like hell if they bring in loans that go belly up and go bad. So they have a specific criteria. I have a wonderful banking relationship, but I'm very bankable. I have a lot of money. I have tons of equity. I am nowhere near over leveraged. I am in fantastic shape. So, but I could ruin that. I could easily ruin that. I could borrow so much that pretty soon the bank goes, we're a little bit worried, it's getting a little tight, instead of giving you 80 cents on the dollar, maybe we loan you 75 or 70. That's how it begins. And by the way, this is how a recession begins. Everything you see going on right now is how a recession begins. Forget about the interest rate right now. This is how a recession begins. More properties become available to buy. In other words, there's more properties on the market. This is how it starts to swing. It's been a seller's market. Okay, it's been a seller's market for about 2 years right now. So in other words, that's why the prices keep going up. Well, now the tides are turning, because what's going on is, as there becomes more and more inventory, now the sellers are starting to compete with each other. And now, how do you compete? Price. Lower your price, lower your price. So you're going to see the prices start to lower. You're going to see more and more inventory. And those people that are in denial that things are going down, they're going to get burned the worst. It's the one that understand that things are going to shit, and they take, preventative actions to hitting it and like lower their prices ahead of everybody and get rid of it. That's important stuff. And anyways, that's what's going to happen. More inventory, prices are going to drop. Interest rates going up, prices are going to drop. And what can you do? Because that's the basis of this video I'm making, is dress for the crash. Sorry, I get off track a little bit, but it's all relevant. Dress for the crash. Think worst case scenario. What happens if you lose your job? You have kids in school, private school, whatever you got, get skills. You better make yourself very important to your boss. If you are not standing out as a key good employee, you better pick up the pace, because what's going to happen is your boss is going to look around the room and is going to say, who doesn't make me money, or who makes me the least amount of money? And that person is going to be gone. And so don't let that be you. Work hard, bust your ass, get skills. If you don't have skills, get skills. One of the best things you can do, again, get some of these skills. It's okay to sit tight and not invest right now. Get skills so that when you do make your move, you make the right move. And, have some cash in your hands. Last thing you want to be is in a situation where you don't have any cash and there's opportunities and you can't take advantage of them, okay? And that's why I say you throw your money in one of these, funds, and these guys, it doesn't even matter if the property they bought with your money goes upside down. They could buy something for $10 million, $20 million, and now it's worth 12. Well, it doesn't matter. They still make money because they're making money on the fund that they put together, not on the real estate. You gotta understand, you are the money. Don't believe anybody. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you listen, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. I've opened the mentorship again. I'm starting to take people in. I haven't been pushing it hard, but you can enroll. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com, go to the mentorship, and you can join. Okay, now I will call you, and if I think you're nuts, I'll give you your money back. But take the mentorship survey. that way I'll give you a call. We'll talk first, and I'll tell you if you should do it or not. I don't want anybody joining. If all you got is $2,000, don't join. Don't join. I mean, if you're really bright, maybe I'd let you, but I'm just telling you, I don't want your last $2,000. I want people that are semi-established. There's a fantastic opportunities for people, especially, my most successful group are people over 30, and 30 to 70, really, and oldest guy I got in there is say I think 65. I'm 60, and I'm like a machine when it comes to making money in real estate. I love it. I live and breathe it. I have a passion for it. And guess what? When your eyes get open, and when you get in my class and you get through the mentorship, and you start seeing real estate the way I do, believe me, you will become a machine. I'm seeing it happening. I've got all these Terminators, okay, in my class now. I mean, they're going out there and they are killing it. They're making money. And it's a fantastic thing to see, and it's very motivating to all the new students that come in, which could be you. If you're new and you're not in, you're going to see that it is something that is teachable, and you can do it, and there's no reason you can't. So, any more questions here? We can talk. You want to rag on the president, whatever you want to do, we'll do it. But I won't do it too much. Because I get punished when I do. How much can I rent that house for? This looks old. It's like deja vu, Liam. What are we talking about? Which house? Oh, the murder house? At least $2,000. Liam said his first mortgage was 10. Yep. My first one was 10 too. My first bank mortgage that I actually borrowed money from the bank was it was 9 1/4, but I got an 1/8 of a point off because I put $160,000 in the bank. It was 25 when I had my first bank loan, and I was already halfway to being a millionaire at least. And so the bank was happy to loan me, and I had plenty of cash. Tom, what do you think about laundromats and self-car washes? You know what? It's interesting. Look, I've owned laundromats, and they've made money. I don't necessarily, even me and my father used to go to laundromat. We lived in a trailer park. I come from very modest means. But me and my dad, we would just load 4 or 5 baskets of clothes, put it in the pickup, drive down and go into the laundromat, and because you can wash all these loads of, you can wash, instead of washing 5 loads over a period of a day and a half, you can do them boom like that. So you throw everything in the washer and get it going, and we chat and talk. That's done. Throw it in the dryer, kick back and talk, get it all dry. We just take it home and fold it at home. It'd still be warm enough. We could do that. And I'll tell you a funny thing. My dad, we drove this kind of a shitty pickup. It was a 1966 Ford my dad had. This is before I could even drive. And we're driving, and the steering wheel's constantly correcting as you're driving. Well, my dad hardly drinks. My dad never drank, really. He looks over his shoulder to check on the laundry, make sure it's not blowing out. Well, he kind of swerves a little bit. Well, a cop sees it. Cop pulls us over, and they pull it over, and they put him through the rigors. They go, okay, look, we want you to, close your eyes and touch your nose, and I can still remember this perfectly. And so my dad's doing his best, going through this. Have you been drinking, Mr. McKay? No, sir. He touches his nose, and he's got his arms out. And they go, okay, we'd like you to start reciting the alphabet backwards. And my dad, he couldn't do that. He was totally sober, but he couldn't do it. And then I was laughing my ass off, standing right next to him watching. And pretty soon the officer's laughing, and he realizes, no, this guy's drunk. He just can't tell you the alphabet backwards. My dad was super intelligent guy, wonderful man, very loving, caring father. Played the role of mother and father. He's a really good man. Anyways, I miss him terribly too. It's been 10 years since he's died. But my point is, laundromats, people go there to get a lot of laundry done quickly. I would stick to a good neighborhood. I wouldn't buy a laundromat in a rough neighborhood. I've had my laundry, machines flipped upside down and the shit beaten out of them so they could take $25 worth of quarters. So you don't want to have a laundromat that doesn't have, a very visible open presence where people don't feel comfortable. Because believe me, thugs will come in there and they'll flip the machines upside down. They'll pry the cover off. They can't reach the quarters. So what's the easiest thing to do? Turn the machine upside down, break the water hoses on the washers, unplug the electric on the dryers. So, there's a downside. You just got to watch it. I like laundromats that are within apartment buildings. When I've owned my apartment buildings, I own the laundromats, and those are nice. And that's why I know a bag of quarters weigh $22 per pound or $22.50 per pound, because that's how we do it. We get a huge bag of quarters, put it on a scale, and within a quarter how much money you got just by how much it weighs. So again, hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. What was the other part of that? Laundromats, and what was the other one? Self car washes. Self car washes. Think about the droughts. In a drought, it can be rough. And I don't know all the problems associated with self car wash. I know one guy, he made a shitload of money on car washes. In fact, he built a $16 million, 130-room Alzheimer's care facility. Smart guy, nice guy, and I haven't seen him in a long time, but he actually rented some stuff from me. But the car washes treated him very well. So let's see, Fredonia, Tom, let's see, my wife, employer, just announced they are going to shut down production lines, laying off about 200 people. See, this is part of the slide. Interest rates go up, more listings come online. Guess what? People tighten. That's why the government's, keep spending. No, don't keep spending. Even Amazon built, 100 million too many square feet or a couple 100 million too many square feet of buildings because their business doubled during the pandemic. Well, the growth isn't happening now. So now at the spaces that, I shouldn't say built, either leased and or built. So some of the places they've leased, now they're subleasing to some, because they can't take the space. They don't need it. So the big guys make bigger mistakes. Don't ever think just because somebody's bigger is investing in something that you need to follow their lead. No, because oftentimes what they're doing is they're spending other people's money. And like I said, in the same instance like we talked about with, when you're looking at the big guys, and I don't know if it's Blackstone or any of these big companies, they're dealing with other people's money that they're investing. They're not as careful as they are with the money that's sitting in their personal account. There's money in wasted money. Don't think for a second that's not true. So good, Tom. Yeah, your wife is safe. Good. Hope she keeps her job. That'd be great for you. Like I said, if you got a job, you better really be good and keep it and work hard at it and make sure that you're not looking like a little pile of cash walking around that can be dismissed. Liam wrote, what about environmental concerns with laundromat or dry cleaning place? Okay, laundromat, I don't think there are any at all, Liam. Laundromat is no big deal. That's just phosphate, soap, and water. But I have bought a dry cleaning plant. I bought it from Mission Linen out of Santa Barbara, California. It's actually one of my earliest, best deals. I bought a building from them for $110,000, and I sold it for $200,000. And this is like in 1983 or something like that. So I was sitting fat, 23 years old, made $100,000. That was pretty fun. And back then, that's like making $300,000. That was today. Russ wrote, Tom, during COVID, 60 million people filed for unemployment. There was price drops everywhere. Real estate turned around and almost doubled. Do you see any chance of this happening? Nope, I don't, Russ, because the interest rates are going up. And with the recession and all the shortages on all the products that we got, look, I can't even, look, I'm trying to spend money and I can't. I'm trying to buy an air conditioner. They tell me 18 weeks. So, with everybody that's losing, somebody else ends up winning at the same time. That's just kind of how it always goes. Wherever somebody's losing, somebody's making something on the other end of it. And that's how we can be, right? That's how we can be. Places going down the pot, we're dressing for the crash, we're preparing for the worst, we're not making stupid mistakes, we're not buying shit we can't afford. Even like I said, I was looking at buying this GTS car for $120,000. It's a collector's item, and it's not, I can buy it, it ain't gonna hurt me one way or the other, no matter what happens, it's no big deal. But you know what, it's in me not to be stupid. I still go back to being my broke self, 40 years ago. I was careful then, and I'm careful now. And here's the other thing. That $120,000 GTS car, it may be a $80,000 GTS car pretty soon here. Because in my experience, when things go to shit, and believe me, they're going to hell right now, cars are like, they're going to go down. You're not going to see cars moving as quick. Maybe when somebody out there's got their finger on the pulse of car sales, we can check it out. But I am going to get me a cool little car. but I may just wait till more people are hurt. Russ, I don't see anything like that. I just don't see it at all. The pandemic was different. I think it was a big fraud to a large degree. I think that it was politicized and overplayed. They utilized it for a lot of political reasons that are pretty unsavory, but that's how it is. Fredonia, Tom, and I know a guy that managed a car wash. Always guys trying to put big trucks screwing things up. Yeah, I mean, listen, owning a car wash, it's not going to be like go to sleep and make money. Listen, I remember being a kid, and I'd go wash my car. My truck would have 6 inches of leaves in it, and I'd just blow that shit out the back door. And I didn't even think about it going down into the grate drain. But now I think about it because I'm a property owner. Somebody had to clean that shit up. So I apologize to whoever owned that lot, owned that car wash when I was a kid. Big man's car, always trying to put up big trucks. Yeah, so big trucks screw up. I don't know how the trucks screw them up, but again, I spend a lot of money at car washes, just going in, wash the car, it's a cool thing. But again, when water's tight, we've had droughts before. I don't know. I don't have the answer. What I will tell you is I've seen car washes being converted into offices. In fact, I got one around the corner here. I'll drive by and show you guys someday. It's a car wash. They just basically, the stall ones, they just tore out the walls in between, framed around it, and they turned it into a Montessori school. And what else? Peter, this time can be worse. Balls, bail insurance, and banks and collapse. Yeah. Anyways, it's not going to be like 2009. It's not going to be like in the early 80s. It's different. It's different because, like I said, the interest rates are going down, and we're going into a recession, and we have supply chain shortages, which means people can't make money, which means you can't employ people. If you can't get the product to sell, you have to fire people. You have to get rid of them. Listen, business is to make money. In our government, look, I've been seeing for hire signs for the last 2 years. Supposedly, everybody's employed, but I see for places that are hiring. For 2 years I've been seeing these signs, and I know they can't even find enough engineers in my particular area, computer engineers or double E's and mechanical engineers. So we don't have enough of the people that they want in my area, and for whatever reason, the people that work those supposedly first-time jobs, they're not showing up. They don't want the jobs. And I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen a huge decline in service. At restaurants, they can't keep enough servers. I've seen that at even P.F. Chang's. The people, I've told you about the kid that answered I drove through Kentucky Fried Chicken. This kid sticks his head out, he's got hickeys all over his neck, and he acted like he was doing me a favor, handing me a chicken sandwich. So, everything's gone to shit as far as I'm concerned, but we can still make a lot of damn money. Ernie wrote, Tom, my brother lost his successful import business due to bogus government lawsuits. Has the government ever come at you with bogus law? Yeah. Yes, I've seen some ridiculous bullshit out of the government. Again, and remember who can punish it. So, but yeah, I've seen really stupid shit. In fact, I have I won't name particular, I'll skip that subject for just a little bit. But yes, I mean, I don't like the heavy hand of government. I created a business a long time ago called Safe Purchase, which was like internet escrow, which is very much like what eBay does. And I did this back in 1995. And who do you think shut me down? Fucking Attorney General of California. You created an escrow company. You know what? Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. And so, who knows? I could have been one of the billionaires maybe, starting an early.com. But the heavy hand, the government came in and squashed me before I had a chance. And, it happens even on local level. They want to come in and they want to tax people on the shit that they have been using their business, called a business tax. They want to tax them on their computers and their desks and their chairs, or even a weight guy. They want to tax his weights, and he weights. You got weights. What are those worth? We're going to tax you yearly on the. And so it dissuades people from becoming entrepreneurs, and they should be making people that are self-sufficient, that don't suck on the government tit. They should make it easier for those people to be independent, to make business. But the government almost always fucks things up. They always do. I had a kid, and I'll tell you the brief and then I'll kill it, is a kid that was, his bicycle chain came off. And this is a good-looking boy, 20, 21 years old, good-looking kid. And I'm thinking, what the hell is he riding a Stingray bicycle for? I said, hey, I got his attention, and he said, very polite. He said, oh, sir, yes, sir. My dad fixed my bike for me not long. He was simple. He had some issues. And I said, well, here, let me get it. I pulled tools out of my car, get his chain back on, get him fixed up where he can ride again. And I go, I don't get it, dude. I go, why aren't you driving a car? And he goes, well, I know I look normal, sir. He goes, but I'm kind of a slow learner, and I have some problems. And I'm on disability. I get $1,320 a month. I mean, he just started spilling this information out. And he goes, and I know people think, well, you can work. I go, but he goes, sir, he goes, I want to work, and I've gone to work. I've gone to work at a pizza place over here, and but they give me a chance because they like me, but in the end they find out that I'm a little bit slow, and then they let me go, and then it takes a whole month for me to get back on disability again. It's totally honest, nice guy, but they're trapping him. In other words, oh, you got a job. Cut your fees. In other words, you're getting $1,320 a month. Oh, you got a job that pays $1,200 a month. You lose your disability. They should let that guy, anybody that's on disability, let him get a job. Let him keep both until their job pays 1.5 times what disability pays, because then they'll be incentivized. You can take it away or take half of it away. Incentivize people to move on into better. Instead, the government constantly incentivizes people and traps them. And if it's people on welfare, don't jeopardize your welfare, don't go to work. All this stupid shit the government does, and it's all for political purposes. They dangle a carrot. If you're rich, it's the Republicans dangling a carrot. Hey, they're going to raise your taxes, send me money. They dangle that carrot so guys like me send money, fight tax hikes, and then at the same time they do the same thing. They tell the poor, oh, we're going to give it away. We're going to raise, unemployment. But be sure to vote for us. Be sure to vote for us, because the other side's trying to take it away. They both suck. Politicians are scum. Don't think for a second. Politicians are scum. So don't ever think otherwise. They are the worst of the worst on the earth. So, anyways, okay. So anyhow, let's just leave it at that, guys. Been a blast today in class. Fantastically smart people. And it's a think tank. And if you're interested in learning about how to make money in real estate, believe me, you will be in the privileged few if you get into my mentorship. Not just because I'm teaching you from all my experience, because I've got the best and brightest students there are, and they're fantastically inspirational to other people that want to do the same as they've done. And everybody's cool and sharing, and we can do that. And so that's it. Again, get the book, go to the website, FlipAnythingUSA.com. Hit like, hit subscribe, give me some thumbs up, right? Come on. And it'll help the channel. And if you want me to share, then believe me, I'm all game for it. But you can let me know with some support. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Liam, we'll have talk. I don't want to get myself in trouble with YouTube. But I think we all know that was a bunch of bullshit. Anyways, you guys take care.